Hi everyone, welcome to Netgate Chemistry. So in the previous video of aromaticity, we solved 8 questions of previous year of NET. So continuing that, we are going to solve 8 more questions in this video. So we'll start with question number 9. The compound that is anti-aromatic is, that is, we have to find the compound amongst these 4 which is anti-aromatic. So if you look at the first compound, all the atoms in the cyclic ring are sp2 hybridized, including this boron. This boron is sp2 hybridized. Structure is planar. There are 4 pi electrons. Okay, so following 4 pi electron rule, so this one is anti-aromatic. For next compound, we can clearly see that this structure is non-planar. It is a non-planar structure, so the given compound is non-aromatic. This structure we all know. This one doesn't exist like this, but exists as this one. So this one is not planar, so this one again is non-aromatic. Now this we have studied earlier. Oxygen is electronegative in nature, so it will carry delta negative and this will carry delta positive charge. Overall this one is having 2 pi electrons, and because of this charge distribution, this one is quasi aromatic. This category we have studied. So the question was, which amongst the following is anti-aromatic? So the answer is the first one. Moving on to question number 10. The compound that gives precipitate on warming with aqueous AgNO3 is. So first of all, we have to see the given reaction. AgNO3 will react with this Br and AgBr will go out. So overall, this Br will go with these two bonded electrons as Br negative. Br negative will be eliminated out along with Ag positive in all these 4 cases. So here Br will go out along with Ag, forming AgBr. So what we are left with is, in all those 4 cases we will be having carbocations. So now we have to look for the stability of the carbocations in each of these cases. The carbocation which is most stable out of these 4 will give fast precipitation with AgNO3. So basically we have to look for the most stable carbocation out of these 4. For part A, we can see this is benzene carbocation. So positive charge on benzene ring is not at all stable. Benzene ring by itself is stable. For second case, we have 4 pi electrons, making this carbocation anti-aromatic in nature. For this one, we have all the carbons sp2 hybridized. Structure is planar. Okay, and we have 6 pi electrons which is supporting 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So the compound is aromatic, and if you see closely, then this carbocation is tropylium ion, which is actually very stable. For fourth case, this nitrogen has a lone pair, but it will not be donated because this heteroatom has double bond along with it. So the number of electrons which are going to be participated for resonance will be 6 pi electrons. So it is following 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So this one is also aromatic. Okay. So amongst these, if we look for the stability of carbocation, this one is not much stable. This one is also not stable because it is anti-aromatic. Amongst this one is also kind of benzene carbocation, but the difference is that here nitrogen is present. So this one is also not much stable. This positive charge is not stable on this ring, but tropylium ion is very stable and resonance is possible here. Okay, so C is the correct option. Now we'll go for question number 11. Among the following compounds, the one which has highest dipole moment is. So for that also we have to break this pi bond in such a way that both the rings or at least one of the rings is stable. So first we'll break it like this. This ring will get negative charge, this will get positive charge. So now for this ring we have 2, 4 and 6 pi electrons. So this ring will be aromatic. This ring will be having 4 pi electrons and this will become anti-aromatic. If we break it this way, then again this will get negative charge and this will get positive charge. So this will become 2, 4, 6. This will be having 6 electrons. This will become aromatic. And this will become anti-aromatic having 4 pi electrons. So in either of these two cases, one is becoming aromatic and the other is becoming anti-aromatic. For second case, if we break it like this, negative charge comes on this ring and positive comes on this ring. So this ring will be having 2, 4, 6, 8 pi electrons. So it will become anti-aromatic. And this ring will be having 2 and 4 electrons. This will again become anti-aromatic. So this cleavage will not be favored because both the rings are now becoming anti-aromatic. So the cleavage will be like this. So this ring will get negative charge and this will get positive charge. So this ring will be having 2, 4 and 6 electrons supporting 4 n plus 2 pi electron rule. So this ring will become aromatic in nature. And this ring will be having 2, 4 and 6 electrons and this will again become aromatic. So both the rings become aromatic. This is highly stable cleavage. So this is basically the answer, but we'll look for these two also so that we are clear with our concept. So first we'll cleave like this. This will get negative and this will get positive charge. This ring will be having 2, 4, 6, 8 pi electrons following 4 pi electron rule and ring will become anti-aromatic. This ring will be having 2 pi electrons and this will become aromatic. If we do the cleavage this way, this ring will have negative charge and this will have positive charge. So now this ring will be having total 4 pi electrons becoming anti-aromatic in nature, and this ring will be having 2, 4, 6 electrons becoming aromatic in nature. So in either of these two cleavages, one is becoming aromatic and the other is becoming anti-aromatic. Now we'll look for the last case. For this one, we can do cleavage like this. This ring will get negative charge and this part will get positive charge. So what happens? This ring will get 2, 4, 6 electrons becoming aromatic, and for this we cannot define it as aromatic or non-aromatic. So cleavage will be like this, making this structure aromatic, this part aromatic. So the structure which is most stable with the kind of cleavage we have done is the structure in which both the rings are becoming aromatic, because we know that aromatic structures are most stable. So the answer is B. Now this question. Here what we see, we have 4 parts and we have to match them with these P, Q, R and S. Basically we have to find out which one is aromatic, which one is anti-aromatic, which one is non-aromatic and which one is homoaromatic after these reactions. So For the first case, we have added an alkali metal. What alkali metal does is it provides electrons to the ring. So what happens when we add alkali metal? These 2 pi electrons get shifted here. Okay, so a negative charge develops here and positive charge develops here, and now this alkali metal, it donates these electrons to this positive site. So what happens? This part remains same, this part has negative charge, and this part also become negatively charged because this alkali metal has provided now the electrons. So now we have looked for this structure, whether this is aromatic, anti-aromatic, non-aromatic or homoaromatic. So now we have to count the number of electrons here. 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 electrons following 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So the structure is aromatic. Okay, so it matches with B. Now the second one, we are adding H2SO4. Basically we are providing H positive. So what happens? Again cleavage takes place like this. This part gets negative charge and this gets positive charge. When we add H2SO4, then what happens? H positive attacks on the negative side. We are providing H positive. H positive is naturally going to attack on the negative side. It provides H positive here. So what happens? We get hydrogens here and positive charges still here. So this is the kind of structure which we get after adding H2SO4 to this compound. I'll repeat this again. We have this compound and we are adding H2SO4 to it. So what happens? These 2 pi electrons are shifted here, developing negative charge here and positive charge here. H positive, because it is positively charged, it is going to attack to the negative side. So it attacks on the negative side and we get hydrogens here and positive charges still here. So now we have to look whether this one is anti-aromatic, non-aromatic or homoaromatic. So this one we have studied, this is homoaromatic. Because this is an sp3 hybridized carbon and here resonance is maintained by bypassing one carbon atom. So this one is homoaromatic. So this matches with S. Now this third part you are going to understand better once you understand the basic concepts of pericyclic reactions. So for that you just have to understand that this system is 4 pi electron system, and whenever we provide heat to this 4 pi system, it undergoes Kohn rotation, and what we have to basically see that this part gets opened up. So these 2 rings open up and form one single ring. So one single ring will be formed like this. Like this, and we know that this structure doesn't remain like this and it forms a structure like this. This is tub shaped. Okay, this is tub shaped. So this one is non-aromatic in nature, so this one will match with R. Okay, this is non-aromatic. Now for this, again there is alkali metal. So what this alkali metal is going to do, it will provide 2 electrons to this system. So simply count the number of pi electrons and add 2 pi electrons to it. This is the easiest way you can do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 plus 2 electrons provided by these 2 alkali metals. So 14 plus 2, 16 electrons following 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So it is sorry 16 electrons. It is supporting 4n pi electron rule. Okay, so it is anti-aromatic in nature, because for 4n pi electron rule, if you put n is equals to 4, then you get 4n is equals to 4 into 4, 16. So it is following 4n pi electron rule, so this compound will become anti-aromatic in nature. Okay. So I want you guys to solve these 4 questions by yourself, and I'll be taking these questions in the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to the channel.